I'm Scroggin. I train at Marathon MMA.
Joshua Tully. I train out of the cave.
Fighting since I was 18. My first fight was actually, it was Jason Witt and Josh Tully was the main event. And it was my very first amateur fight, so it's kind of cool I get to fight the guy who was the main event at the time.
I've been doing martial arts for 20 years.
I feel great against him. I mean, I feel like I'm more technical. I'm going to have more skill sets than him. So, yeah, I'm excited for this one.
I think I match up really well.
I honestly feel I feel like he's a durable guy. I feel like it's going to go the distance, but I mean, I'm always looking for a finish. So if I see an opening, I'll take it.
I see a knockout.
For tonight's co-main event, walking out first, fighting out of the blue corner, Joshua Tully.
Joshua Tully set for his 10th career pro MMA bout. In our fighter meeting, Tully said, "I feel that I'm a very gritty and durable fighter while also always being a very smart fighter." Tully said, "Against my opponent in this welterweight bout, Scroggin, I respect his striking, but I do not want to allow myself to get sucked into a brawl." Tully said, I quote, "Don't have to fight the bull. I instead want to ride the bull."
I like that. That's a good analogy, and actually quite different from what Tully fights like. He's known to have power in both hands. He has bricks for hands, knockout power in both. I remember his fight with Jason Witt, UFC veteran Jason Witt. I don't know how that fight kept going after the knockdown that happened. I thought it was a knockout. Josh Tully landed a hook from hell, and somehow Witt survived it, came back, ended up winning that fight. But I say that to say this. Tully comes forward and launches those things. He has power in both hands, and I think against Scroggin, the longer, taller fighter, he's going to want to implement some of that bully, some of that, hey, you got to have to dodge these hammers.
Tully also told us in our fighter meeting, key to victory for me is timing. Tully said, "I'm going to keep setting up big strikes, but do so properly. I'm going to find and then exploit openings continually." And Tully said, "I'm going to win by knockout." I asked him, "Are you all right with me saying that on the air?" And he said, "Absolutely, say it on the air. I am going to win this fight by knockout."
And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Scroggin.
Scroggin, undefeated at 4-0 in his pro MMA career. He's recorded a finish in 3 of those 4 pro MMA victories. In our fighter meeting, Scroggin said, "I've really been focusing on training on throwing knees and elbows in addition to punches and kicks." Scroggin said, "I feel that I had been too focused on just punches and kicks in my striking. I want to add knees and elbows to my arsenal, not only in the clinch, but also at distance." Scroggin said, "I believe my opponent, Josh Tully, is going to rush forward. I know he's aggressive. I think I can catch him with those knees and elbows coming in."
I like that. That's a great idea. Always want to keep adding tools to the arsenal. In his last fight, we saw him add a calf kick to his game that we hadn't really seen before. And it's what finished the fight. That calf kick led to the finish, and he's known to be this guillotine guy. He's known to be long. He's massive for the weight class at 6'3", but that calf kick was something new we've seen in his game, and for him to say, hey, I also want to have elbows and I also want to have knees against an aggressive opponent like Josh Tully, I think the calf kick plus the new stuff is gonna help. The calf kick can take out the base. It's hard to load up these big shots when you don't have a base, and he's gonna need to implement those weapons here tonight against Josh Tully.
This is our co-main event of the evening. In the welterweight division, Joshua Tully versus Zach Scroggin. Our tale of the tape is presented by Clover.
Josh Tully's 12 years older. Zach Scroggins is 3 inches taller and will have a 2.5-inch reach advantage.
To get our co-main started, Brian Wood.
The co-main event is brought to you by Clover. Headquartered in Kansas City, Clover is a cannabis-infused product manufacturer that believes in safe, consistent, and quality cannabis products for everyone. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, Joshua Tully. And his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, Zach Scroggin. Oh, baby, let's go.
Both these men have not stopped staring at each other since they entered the cage.
Touch him up right here, man.
Final words from referee Mike England, sporting touch of hands. Zach Scroggin said, I believe Josh Tully wants a fast pace. I want to stay long, slow down the pace. Controlling tempo is my key to victory. Round number 1. Tonight's fight clock is presented by Hoy Excavating. Black trunks for Joshua Tully. Black, red, and white trunks for Zach Scroggin.
What makes Tully so dangerous is the unorthodoxness of how he throws these hooks with reckless abandonment. That's what makes it so dangerous. So smart for Scroggins to engage on the wrestling. Secures the takedown, double leg off the fence.
And immediately on the takedown, Tully looking for the guillotine. So difficult to find it from this position. Scroggin trying to clear the knee. Tully holding onto the guillotine. No panic on the face of Zach Scroggin. Tully a decent amount of squeeze on this guillotine attempt, but you see his forearm sliding off of the neck now onto the jawline of Zach Scroggin. Scroggin short left hand. Thumbs up from Scroggin, the referee Mike England.
Tough position to try to finish this guillotine. It's more of just holding Scroggins down. I don't know if Tully's hoping for the ref to stand him up or what, but it's going to be really tough to finish this guillotine from here.
Getting the pressure on the knee of Tully by Scroggin. A little more squeeze now from Joshua Tully.
Scroggin's attempting almost a knee bar. If he's on that knee, he can do a knee bar. I've seen finishes like that at high-level jiu-jitsu.
More squeeze. That's under the chin.
It is, but I know Tully's strong. I've heard fighters, a former teammate of mine fight Tully. You have to be just an incredible, freak strength to finish a guillotine from this position.
Scroggin now. You see the pressure and popping his head free.
Great idea. Use that as a frame. Use that as a wedge to just a counterbalance to someone holding onto your head. Just use your forearm, grind that in there. Forces Tully to let go.
Scroggin now in the closed half guard of Joshua Tully.
And this head chancery that Tully has, this is telling me I'm not looking to get up. I want the ref to stand us up. And that's never a good idea in high-level MMA.
Scroggin short left hand. Tully was playing offense, now playing defense, flat on his back. 2:40 remaining, round number 1 of our co-main. We're in the welterweight division.
Tully not really having any answers of looking to try to scramble or get up, or just more wanting to hold on to the head of Scroggins.
Shoulder strike with the left shoulder by Scroggin, just trying to create space. Bit of a face wash now from Scroggin to create space. Back
to that frame, Sean, and that's what got him out of the guillotine. It's a great thing to do when someone's just holding onto your head is frame. Grind your elbow, grind your forearm, which is legal in this sport, to create the space.
You see the hard frame there from Zach Scroggin. Left hand.
And I like to see Scroggins use that frame, that post he's using, that grind, and make it into an elbow, a short little elbow.
Scroggin thinking head and arm choke.
That's going to be tough to do with the fence kind of blocking him. Unless the angle changes, he could use this to just take mount.
See the cage walking from Joshua Tully. Very effective from Tully. No panic from Joshua Tully. On his back. Showing excellent control.
Although he's not taking much damage, he's also not trying to get up. And looks a little green on his back.
There's the tap from the head and arm choke. And that is the win. Cool as you like from Zach Scroggin.
Very impressive win from Zach Scroggins. moves to 5-0 now. Very, very nice record that can lead to big opportunities over the vet and Josh Tully. To finish an arm triangle from cross sides and half guard takes a wicked amount of squeeze and the right position. It's not common at all, Sean.
Go back to our fighter meeting, Jeff. Zach Scroggin told us, I want to slow down the pace. Controlling tempo is my key to victory. As you'll see in our replay presented by Major Pack, Scroggin, so calm, so controlled, so skillful from top position.
Just secures his arm triangle from cross sides, half guard. This is very uncommon. More common is mount, but even more common than that is the same side you have the arm on is where your body wants to be. The position was just right. He had his arm across his face. And the squeeze Scroggins must have on him. He must have heard something or seen something. I've had opponents gurgle in the arm triangle before I even started squeezing, and I knew it was tight. It must have been something similar for him to commit to it from that position and get the tap.
Zach Scroggin, 5-0 in his rapidly emerging pro MMA career. Now 4 of those 5 victories by way of finish.
We've seen this kid grow up, and I call him a kid, but we're the same age. Or I think he's older than me. But still, he's grown up inside this FAC cage, Sean. And all of his fights, all of his professional fights have been under the FAC banner, and has grown into this finishing fighter that's great everywhere. He's submission grappling, the striking, the wrestling, everywhere. He just keeps evolving, and I'm excited to see where he goes to.
Our winner announcement is presented by Milagro Tequila. Here is Brian Wood.
Ladies and gentlemen, this bout has ended at 3 minutes and 41 seconds of the very first round. Your winner by tap out due to arm triangle out of the red corner, Zach Scroggin.
Josh Tully is a tough, smart, accomplished fighter. He went hard for the guillotine. Scroggin showed his composure, worked to pop his head free, then found his own submission, the head and arm choke to get the finish.
Here in the replay, Tully lands a low kick, slips a little bit. Scroggin just immediately shoot, locks his hands, push, pull, secures the takedown, and ended up in this guillotine, this half-hearted guillotine attempt where it was just used to more hold Scroggins on top of him. Then we see a frame from Scroggins, gets his head loose, and then the arm triangle was the eventual result. He gets it from cross sides. He didn't have to even go to mount or same side. Very impressive. 5-0 now, Zach Scroggins. Dana White Contender Series, question mark?
That was quality from Zach Scroggin in our co-main event of the evening. Victorious by way of first round submission, Zach Scroggin defeats Joshua Tully.